short-term and long-term solutions to address poverty in the country?
Poverty. The short solution to me is demolish and destroy the built-in mechanism of corruption in the government system. Because I believe the evils of corruption are directly related to the evils of poverty. I was informed sometime in 2003-2004 that the World Bank confirmed that 40% of the total budget of the Philippine government goes to corruption. Today, lately, I was informed by a good columnist, Cito Beltran, and confirmed reportedly by the World Bank that it's no longer 40%, but it is 50% of the total budget goes to corruption. And I suddenly remember the reason why I was convinced last 2004 to run for president, when in the midst of my refusal to leave my comfort zone, someone handed me an article, a portion of that article written by a certain Dr. James Walker, a noted economist from Scotland who has been specializing on the economies of Asian region. He said, I have not seen or known a country in this world like the Philippines that used to be #1 in Asia. Until 1943, even richer than Japan. But 50 years after, in social time, the Philippines had fallen down to the bottom, overtaken by neighboring countries, because the Philippines had undergone incredible deterioration due to shocking unabated political corruption. So the immediate solution to me in fighting poverty is to stop the evils of corruption and support the cry of the youth for zero corruption. We are dreaming in Bang Pilipinas, corruption-free Philippines. And then rechannel the bulk of the money, the budget, to massive economic development programs and projects. We have what we call strategic economic growth centers to be established in every region, and if possible, as allowed by the budget, in every province. What does it mean? We will conduct a special study on the weaknesses and strengths of every province, and eventually every region, and then support a well-guided economic strategy to accelerate and fast-track the economic development and growth on those regions or provinces, thereby providing better employment to our people. Thus, encouraging OFWs to come home and enjoy the love and fellowship of their respective family, and at the same time having what I call a dignified livelihood.
Sure. Question. Regarding to youth graphing corruption question. Four presidents already vowed to stamp out corruption. Noynoy Aquino's also yung kanilang platform, graphing corruption. Everybody is actually promising the Philippine people that they will stamp out corruption. Question, anong pagkakaiba nung gagawin nyo dun sa plano nila? Pareho din ba? Pangalawa, yung Marcos wealth, yung mga Marcoses, alam naman natin nagnakaw dati, nakalalaya ngayon, wala na kulong, bilyon yung nasa kanila pa. Anong gagawin nyo sa kanila? And then third, si Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo, kung mapatunayan mang merong pagkakasala, anong posible nyo gawin? Anong magiging pagkakaiba nyo? Kasi parang pare-pareho na po.
Alam mo, sa akin, malaki ang pagkakaiba. Bakit? Hindi ako napagkatiwalaan pa ng political power in my last 30 years of earthly existence. Pero student leader pa lang ako sa UP College of Law. Nagawa kong ipakulong ang ilang corrupt personalities sa lalawigan ng Bulacan. Ang tawag sa kanila land grabbing syndicate leaders, 2 wealthy people, 1 judge, 4 lawyers. I was able to put them in prison because I gathered all the victims of land grabbing syndicate in different towns of Bulacan. I did not have any political power whatsoever. Now, with the presidential power, I studied the political and constitutional law of the Philippines before. The presidential power of the Philippine president is much greater than the power of the American president, technically speaking, because of one presidential decree of President Marcos, that the president of the Philippines has the power to intervene in the allocation of pork barrel or CDF or whatever you call it, allocated to different lawmakers, congressmen, and senators. And that's the reason why the check and balance in the Philippine democratic government is becoming a farce. Now, probably if I may share to you, one of the many offers to me by GMA government is to be the anti-corruption czar. He sent to our house Commodore Tiriso Danga, followed up by a multi-millionaire businessman Makati. Why not accept to be the anti-corruption czar as being offered to you by GMA? And I told them in different places, he even followed up, Commodore Danga even followed up in this office, aside from his visit in my house, with some witnesses. I told them, do you think this couple in Malacanang are serious in fighting corruption? If they are serious, do you think they will accept my simple requirement? What is your simple requirement? Full authority and full support. What do you mean? I should be allowed to overhaul and appoint key people in the Commission on Audit. I should be allowed to overhaul and appoint key people in Ombudsman. I should be allowed and appoint key people in the Department of Justice. Just 3 agencies. And I should be allowed to form a small composite army from Armed Forces of the Philippines, from the Philippine National Police, and from NBI. And I should be allowed to form different task forces as needed by situations, mainly composed of principal lawyers and principal certified public accountants. What will you do about these task forces? Task force number 1, within 30 days, submit to this office everything about Yapo Terminal 3 scandal. Task force number 2, within 30 days, submit to this office everything about fertilizer scandal. Task force number 3, everything about Northern scandal, Southern scandal, communication scandal, so on and so forth. No sacred cows. Give me 6 months to 1 year. We will dismantle this corruption octopus in our government. No palakasan, no sacred cows. And I should be allowed to recommend just 2 undersecretaries in every major department. I don't need to appoint to recommend for cabinet members. Just 2 undersecretaries. What will you do? 1 undersecretary will be known as Undersecretary for Transparency, Accountability Affairs in every major department. That no millions of transactions, like for instance 5 million up transaction in any government office would be implemented without proper review, without proper scrutiny and recommending approval of that particular office. And secondly, this is so important to me, especially to those who believe in morality in public service. That Undersecretary will be known as Undersecretary for the Recovery of Moral Fibers in Public Service. To give place and substance to President Fidel Ramos' Presidential Proclamation number 62, which was never given full implementation, otherwise known as Moral Recovery Program. In other words, that particular office will hold seminars on work ethics and also improvement of public service to the people. In other words, that particular office will concentrate in the moral recovery programs in public service. You know, itong dalawang lumapit sa akin, they came to me one at a time, but